Every week, every day, there are many cataclysms happening around the world. A dramatic picture of what is happening is demonstrated by the number of large-scale floods that hit different regions in the first week of July 2023. Watch the video to the end to find out how the climate crisis can be solved in the near future. In the first days of July, a state of disaster was declared in several provinces of the Philippines. The reason for this was flooding caused by heavy rains. Overflowing rivers flooded at least 12 cities, and more than 200,000 people were forced to flee from the rising waters. July started with unseasonably heavy rains in northern Australia. On the 2nd and 3rd, precipitation 10 to 15 times the monthly average was recorded in some places. In some parts of Western Queensland, this month has already been recognized as the wettest in the history of observations. And in China, the Chongqing municipality and Yunnan province experienced the worst flooding in 50 years. Downpours in the southwest of the country led to the evacuation of more than 95,000 people. Unfortunately, there were casualties. Losses from the disaster are estimated at tens of millions of dollars. Extreme precipitation events are particularly dangerous for major cities. The residents of Chicago fully felt their vulnerability to the impact of flash flooding. On July 2nd, the double norm of rainfall fell here, and life in the metropolis was paralyzed for a long time. Another example is Lahore, a city with a multi-million population. On July 5th, 1.5 months of rain fell on Pakistan's largest city in just 10 hours, breaking a 30-year record. As in Chicago, it became impossible to move through the flooded streets. But the saddest part is that the flooding claimed the lives of several people. The next day, another Asian country was hit by flooding. In Mongolia, several neighborhoods in Ulaanbaatar went underwater after a heavy rain damaged a dam on the Selba River. As the local climate is traditionally arid, the capital's infrastructure was completely unprepared for the intense rainfall. Floods have also affected the west of Africa. On July 4th, a heavy downpour in Nigeria's capital of Katsina State led to flooding of homes and casualties. On the same day, in the Italian city of Milan, more precipitation in the form of rain and hail fell in 3 hours than usually in the first 2 weeks of July. On July 5th, the strongest summer storm in the country's history, named Polly, hit the Netherlands. Wind gusts reached 146 km per hour. More than 400 flights were cancelled in Schiphol Airport, the busiest air harbor in Europe. Due to the mass fall of trees, the movement of ground transportation was stopped. On July 6th, a storm and torrential rains hit the city of Zaragoza in Spain. People fought desperately to save their lives. However, the raging torrents easily swept away everything in their path. The first week of July brought bad weather to various regions of Russia. The Kuban, Primorye and a number of major cities in Siberia and the Urals suffered from gusty winds and heavy rain. In some places, 2 months' worth of precipitation fell. Residents of the Indonesian provinces of Bali and East Java have faced widespread flooding. Hundreds of people were evacuated from areas near the Semeru volcano. Mud streams flowing down its slopes at a great speed destroyed houses and bridges in a matter of moments. The total amount of damage is still unknown due to the high level of floodwaters. Such a scale of water disaster confirms that it is possible to cope with climate threats only by using a comprehensive approach. Only united humanity can create the necessary conditions for a comprehensive study of the causes of the climate crisis and a way out of it.